Hello everyone, I am so excited for today because this is going to be officially the 50,000 subscriber celebration for this channel. I wanted to thank you all so much for 50,000 subscribers. That's freaking mind-blowing to me. I'm definitely not going to change and I'm going to continue being my really weird self. But I wanted to take a moment to appreciate you all, and I'm excited for this celebration because if you missed it, I posted on the community tab on the community page for YouTube, and then I also posted on my Instagram asking for you all to leave me voice memos. We're going to talk about, so some people have questions for me, so this will be part Q&A, and then also some people have some voice memos where they share rituals, like tried and true rituals that they have done for any particular situation. So there's going to be lots of spell work inspiration and advice in this video, and some people also shared their controversial opinions as well. So I thought long and hard how I wanted to kind of structure this video. Feel free to put it on in the background or listen to it like a podcast. There isn't going to be too much visually up on the screen. I think when I play voice memos, I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this yet, but I think I'm gonna have some sort of B-roll screen up as we listen to the voice memos, and then I'll kind of go back and forth between text questions that people have left for me and listening and responding to the voice memos. I don't even know if there's going to be any timestamps on this video, honestly, because the questions and the comments and it's just going to be all over the place. So we're just going to leave this as one giant 50K celebration. So let's start with some questions. There's an option for YouTube creators, by the way, where I can go in and filter all the comments on every single one of my videos to contain comments that I have not responded to and comments that contain questions. So that's kind of the filter that I'm looking at right now. I'm just going to be looking at questions from all of my videos that I have not responded to yet, and I will try to get through as many as I can. If you left a comment under one of my videos and I have not responded, it's simply because I usually look at the comments for the first little while after posting a video, and then after that I have to stop looking at the comments for my own mental health because y'all, I'm an introvert. People that have been on this channel for a while know that I'm an introvert, so I have to limit my screen time as much as possible. I do try to respond to comments as much as my physical energy allows, but then I have to take time away from my screen just for my own sanity. So I know there's a lot of questions that I have not responded to. The first question, and this is a question that I've gotten from many people just in many variations, and this is on the video that I just recently did called What is Tulpamancy, or How to Create a Tulpa, which is an occult magical entity, if you did not see that video. But a few people were asking, is it possible to accidentally create a tulpa, particularly in childhood? Yes, I do believe it is possible to accidentally create these magical entities. I wouldn't say that all imaginary friends are tulpas by any means, because there are some parameters for tulpas that I think some imaginary friends don't meet, but I do think it's possible for people to create them accidentally. I've always wanted to try the mind palace thing that you talk about, but I have memory issues because of ADHD. Don't you have to be able to remember what you even created, or does it somehow stay in your subconscious or something magical like that? So this is a question in regards to mind palace work or mind mapping or inner temple work. You can call it whatever you want, but I've talked about this in a few videos where you can create this inner landscape for yourself and then utilize it in spell work, in shadow work, in harnessing psychological archetypes. There's many different things that you can do with that inner landscape. And I would say for the most part, you probably should remember what you created. I mean, that's kind of the whole purpose, so that when you're sitting down to do spell work, you can recall that particular room that you've created. But if you're someone that really struggles with remembering those details, what I would do instead is create a physical or a digital version of your inner temple. So I've talked about this in a couple videos in the past as well. You know, you can create it in a video game. I've seen a couple people use The Sims to create their inner landscape, and then you can just pull that up in your ritual space and use that. You can draw or paint a picture. You can create something like a computer graphic and then print it out and have it in your altar space. You could even have a section of your grimoire that's dedicated to your inner temple or your mind palace, and have these graphics that you've printed out for each particular room. So I've talked previously how I have a red room that I go into for passion, creativity. It's actually kind of connected to Mars, so it's really drive and aggression, physical energy, and things like that. You can create a graphic of your room, in my case the red room, print it out, and then that is one page in your Book of Shadows. And so then when you flip through your Book of Shadows, you can look through all the different rooms in your mind palace or your inner temple that you've created, and then you can just pull that page out, put it in your altar space, either on your altar cloth or even set it up in a frame or something, similar to how you would have a picture of a deity present in your altar space if you were, you know, to work with a deity and such. So that's more what I would suggest, is creating some sort of physical representation so you can remember what you have created. Have you made any videos on the witch's devil? I've been hearing a lot about the concept on socials lately and felt some kind of way from, you know, religious trauma, but I'd trust your input. Well, thank you. I am glad that you would trust my input. I have not made any videos on the witch's devil, and I probably won't ever make videos on the witch's devil. First of all, it's not something that I have expertise in. There's so much historical context that goes into the witch's devil. There's so many different perspectives, and I'm not somebody that works with the witch's devil, so I probably wouldn't make a video about it unless I actually was knowledgeable or I have been doing the work with that devil. But also part of me says I don't want to create a video like that, and I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole because there is so much controversy around it. It would just be exhausting to try to explain it to people and then have people not understand, etc. That's what I envision it would be like. So no, I have not created a video, and I don't foresee myself doing that video unless I were to actually begin working with the witch's devil heavily and wanting to share, you know, my personal experience and such. Let's listen to our first voice memo, shall we? Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, by the way, I should probably mention there were so many voice memos, and thank you so much for everybody that left a message. I probably won't be able to play them all in this video because there are quite a few, but I will play as many as I can until my camera dies today.
Hi, Ivy. Please tell us about your journey to becoming an occultist. What made you interested in it, and what made you decide to pursue it? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. I appreciate that. I do have a video. It's pinned at the very top. Like if you click on my YouTube channel, it's pinned. It's like the very first video that comes up that talks about my entire journey with occultism, because I started at a really young age and I've bounced around a lot of different communities, and there's a lot of reasons why I left certain communities and then why I was dragged into new communities, etc. So it's hard for me to answer this question quickly because I really have been delving into occultism and spirituality, working with spirits and all of that, and even just researching world religions from a really young age. So as some of you know, I dabbled in ceremonial magic and witchcraft in my teen years. I was like a preteen for witchcraft, and then later in my teen years is when I kind of started to get into ceremonial magic. Then in my 20s, I went through a Buddhist phase, left the Buddhism scene after about 5 years, went into paganism, went into shamanism, and did a lot of courses and things like that. And then I was brought back into witchcraft after all of those years from a non-Wiccan perspective, I should say. I was never a Wiccan, but I think I was just naturally drawn, you know? I know there's so many people that resonate with this. I don't think there was any one particular thing that drew me to it. I just feel like my soul belongs here. So I guess that would be my short answer. If you want the long answer, feel free to go listen to that video. It'll talk about all my experience with various things and such, but I feel like it's just where my soul feels best and it just makes sense for me. This next voice memo is from Emily's Witchcraft and Tarot, which I love her so much. If you are not familiar with her channel, definitely go check her out. She's just a sweetheart.
Hi Ivy, it's Emily from Emily's Witchcraft and Tarot. Congratulations on 50k. That's just an incredible achievement and so well deserved. Well done. So I would love to take part in your community project, and so I wanted to share a simple and powerful folk spell for banishing and protecting oneself and the home and loved ones. And this is something that I have performed a number of times, and it's always been extremely effective. And you know, I sometimes switch certain things up, but the basic spell is very simple. So it's one that people can adapt and sort of make their own. So essentially this is really great for banishing any negative energies and protecting yourself from any kind of harm or unpleasant people or malicious intent that's been sent your way, or the evil eye. And the spell utilizes Psalm 91, which dates back to the 4th century BCE, so way before the rise of Christianity. And it's unclear whether this particular psalm was written by Moses or David. but nevertheless it's been used for centuries for protection and banishment and kind of peace of mind, and faith, and a sense of safety and security. So first of all, do cleanse yourself, your space, and all of the items that you're going to use ahead of casting a spell. You may wish to cast a circle or enter into a sacred space according to however you practice. So you're going to want to use a small piece of paper with torn edges, and just write a short petition stating what influences or persons or circumstances or situations you wish to banish and be protected from. So for instance, I banish all those who seek to harm me and send me ill will. I banish all negative and harmful entities and influences, known and unknown. I am protected and safe from all unwanted influences and energies. And then you want to sign your name across the petition. You can do this once, or you can do this 3 times, or you can pick a powerful number. I know that some practitioners use different numbers, so that's down to the practitioner, how they wish to practice. So you're going to sign your name and then fold the petition 3 times, turning it widdershins, so anti-clockwise each time you fold it, and then set the petition on a very small mirrored plate or a surface, or like a little crafting mirror with a
First recording ended, so let's play the second recording.
Hi Ivy, it's Emily again. I'm so sorry, I accidentally pressed the stop button when I was recording. So the first half of my recording is about 3 minutes long and it's already with you. So this is the second half. I hope that you're able to like edit them together, but if not, no worries at all. So I'm just trying to think where I was up to. Signing the petition, I think. So signing your name across the petition, and then fold the petition 3 times, or however many times the practitioner wants to, and turning it widdershins anti-clockwise each time to banish and set that in motion. So then you want to set the petition on top of a small mirrored plate or a surface with the reflective surface facing upwards. So for this you can use like a small mirrored plate for a candle, or like one of those crafting mirrors, or some tin foil. And so just place the petition on top of that surface, the mirrored surface, and then dress a candle of choice, like a black candle or a white candle, with a banishing or protection oil. Alternatively, you can use olive oil as well. And if it's a banishing or protection oil, you may not want to do this, but if it's simply an olive oil, you can warm the oil in your hands and breathe upon and speak words of power over the oil as you anoint the candle with your intention from the bottom to the top to release it and banish it out. As some people prefer to do the opposite, so again, that's something that can be adapted however the practitioner wishes. So you want to, of course, ensure that your candle is secure in like an appropriate holder, and always be fire safe. So have to add that in. But you want to be breathing upon and speaking words of intention and power over the working as you go, as you prepare it all. So you want to place your candle holder and the candle on top of the petition, on top of the mirror, and simply light it up when you're ready, and hold your hands around the candle, push your energy and your intention into it. You can chant if you wish, and when you're ready, you want to, with conviction, recite the Psalm 91 over the working. And you can continue to chant afterwards or speak words over it as you wish. And essentially, it's a really, really powerful charm for this sense of security in the protection that you are invoking for yourself. So it's pushing away any malignant, malicious energy, but then also...
So Emily's recording cut off again, so there's a third and final recording. Here's the thing, is that there's a 3-minute cutoff. The SpeakPipe, the website that I used, there's like a 3-minute cutoff or whatever for recording. So anyways, here's the third and final installment.
It's Emily again from Emily's Witchcraft and Tarot. I just realised it's probably because there's a maximum duration of 3 minutes. I didn't notice that before. So yeah, I will be really, really, really quick with this. And obviously, if you can't use it, that's fine. Or if you want to edit it, that's fine as well. So yeah, it's really, really powerful psalm, of course, been used for centuries, and it's just really, really great at instilling that sort of sense of security and you know, peace of mind that you really are protected, because it's pushing away anything that's coming at you, whether it's known or unknown, but then also like surrounding yourself with that sort of shield of protection as well. And so this is such a simple working, and people can embellish it as they wish. You can use a larger candle and burn it every day. You can use a tea light, smaller chime candles if you wish, and just repeat it as needed. Lean into any herbal plant allies or sigils or runes or any correspondences which resonate with you as you wish. And yeah, I just love this. It's worked so well for me. And I really, really hope that it can be helpful. I know some people might not like the whole Christian aspect of it, but this is like really, really old occult knowledge, and yeah, so I hope that people will be, you know, open to it, and I hope that it works well for you all. I hope that you all stay well and safe and be blessed, and many congratulations again, Ivy. Sending you lots and lots of well wishes and love. All right, bye.
Emily, I just love you. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is so interesting. And it so coincides with where I've been at currently, because I think at the end of this last year, I talked about how I was kind of stepping away from witchcraft in my own personal practice and really diving deeper back into ceremonial magic. And ceremonial magic is so biblical. So it really is. And so I've been diving into such biblical things that I haven't really discussed on this channel. I think at some point I will. I am currently documenting my journey with something. So maybe months down the road, you will see that video. Similar to how I documented, there was a video I did connecting with Thoth for the first time, and I documented my journey, and it took me months to film that video because I was, you know, filming snippets throughout those months of how it was going with him. And I'm kind of doing a similar thing right now with some new energies that I've been working with. So really excited to show that with you all. But yeah, I've been getting into some biblical stuff, and I think Emily, you're so right that like some people will be immediately turned off by using the Psalms in their witchcraft practice, and that's totally fine. I get that a lot of us come into witchcraft with heavy amounts of religious trauma, unfortunately, and that kind of deters people from really wanting to get into any sort of Abrahamic, you know, stuff. So I get that. But thank you so much for sharing that spell. That is so interesting. I'm definitely going to be doing that. So thank you for that. Going back to some questions I have on my videos. Hey, quick question. Where do you buy your herbs? Is it online and shipping worldwide? So I actually don't buy herbs really from the store anymore. I grow my own herbs only because I am blessed to have such a big garden space. I'm trying to think of where, so local metaphysical shops are always an option for getting your witchy herbs. I really like Mountain Rose Herbs. You can just go to mountainroseherbs.com. I don't know if they ship worldwide though, that's the thing. But check them out if you want. I'm not affiliated with them by any means, but they do have really good quality herbs for you to buy. I think almost everything is organic. No, I think they have some non-organic options as well, but I usually get my resins from them, but you can get herbs from them as well. But yeah, I usually just grow mine now, and even if you live in an apartment, I encourage you to grow your own herbs. Herbs are so easy to grow on a windowsill. You know, you don't need a garden space or an outdoor space or anything like that. You can just grow herbs in a windowsill, and it helps you connect to that plant spirit so much deeper as well. When you watch the whole life cycle of a plant and you are harvesting it yourself, you're processing it yourself, it's just such a deeper connection. So highly recommend that if you have the ability to. I understand that's a luxury and not everybody would be able to. Are there any books you would recommend on chaos magic? Yes, absolutely. So currently I am writing one. It's not done yet, but surprise everybody, I am working with a publisher. I have signed a contract, and I'm writing one. It's going to be a beginner's guide to chaos magic. I don't particularly, here's the thing, is that I've gone off before about beginner books and how I don't particularly, like, I feel like the occult community is so oversaturated with witchcraft books, but it's surprising because then when you look in chaos magic, there's not a lot of chaos magic books for one, and for two, there's not a lot that are geared towards beginners, and so beginners may find it really daunting or intimidating. So I am writing one because I am gonna write the chaos magic book that I wish I could have had as a beginner. So that book's not out yet though. So until then, Liber Null and Psychonaut by Peter Carroll is the book that started it all. So you, in my opinion, you have to read that at some point on your chaos magic journey. But I would really start with Condensed Chaos by Phil Hine. This is also considered a foundational text for chaos magic, and I think it's a lot easier to read than Peter Carroll's books. So start with Condensed Chaos by Phil Hine and then work your way back to Liber Null. Does anyone know of a simple way to charge sigils? Orgasm. Seriously, it's the simplest, easiest way to charge a sigil, okay? Listen, I know you can go into altered states of consciousness, you can stare at it when you're in a meditative state, you can do a death posture, there's all these different things that you can do to get yourself into a trance-like state and to charge these sigils. Or you could just have an orgasm while you're staring at the sigil. It is the easiest thing in the entire world. You don't even have to be thinking about the intention. You literally just have to stare at the image. So that would be my answer. That is the simplest way. Honest question, because I can't seem to find the answer. Is there a difference between Chaos Witch and Chaos Magician? And if so, what is it? So I'm gonna try to answer this as quickly as possible. So Chaos Magician, when it was originally developed by Peter Carroll, the word magician tends to refer to more occultism and ceremonial magic versus like witchcraft and folk magic. And so at the time when chaos magic was evolving, it was really kind of this radical dismissal of traditional ceremonial magic. So it was still in the ceremonial occult scene. I feel like this is such a large conversation. How do I make this simplified? Chaos magician was the original term to use for someone practicing chaos magic. However, over time, that term has evolved and some people don't resonate with the term magician and they resonate more with the term witch. So some people have adopted the label chaos witch instead. There's really no difference. Chaos witch usually insinuates someone's practicing witchcraft from a chaos magic perspective, and chaos magician is just the old school term for anybody that practices chaos magic. So there usually isn't really a difference, unless there are some people in the community that adopt the term chaos witch to just insinuate that they're a very chaotic, lazy, crazy witch, and it has absolutely nothing to do with chaos magic, because chaos magic is a completely separate thing. It's a philosophy. It's not being chaotic in your practice. It's a whole nother thing. If you are practicing chaos magic, you're prescribing to chaos magic theory. That doesn't necessarily just mean that you're being chaotic and crazy and all over the place. So it's nuanced. Chaos witch and chaos magician usually mean the same thing-ish, but it just kind of depends on the person, and it's just language that has evolved. Language is so complicated because it's not like we all wake up as a society one day and then decide that this new word means this and this word means this. It's like this evolution of people having all of these thoughts and ideas and using different words in different ways, and it's like this collective movement. So I would say usually they're the same thing, but not always. I hope that answers. I don't know how this comment ended up in the questions section on YouTube, because this is not a question, but someone commented on my blood magic video and said, any magic that uses blood is evil and extremely dangerous. What does it feel like to be so inaccurate? I wonder what that feels like. Next question is a question that's under my war water video, where I showed my recipe for war water, which is something that you can use in defensive and offensive witchcraft. I love sprinkling war water around the perimeter of my home to protect me. So this question was under that video, and it says, can you throw it on someone's car or property when using it as a hex? You can do whatever you want. Okay, you can do whatever you want. Just see what happens. No, if you make war water in a jar, I would probably not recommend throwing it at someone's car or their property, because it's probably gonna crack and explode. And then also the glass is just damaging for the environment in general. So probably wouldn't recommend, throwing it like a bomb. But if you take some war water and you sprinkle it over the doorstep of someone you don't like, or around their car or something, maybe not on their car, because I'm pretty sure it would ruin the paint. Yeah. Do what you want. We are not shy about baneful magic here on this channel. I get this next question so often. How old are you? So I don't want to share my exact birth year or my exact age online, because I don't want people to look up my birth chart. I have this whole thing, you guys, like, I don't want to be stereotyped. I don't want somebody to look at my birth chart and then assume that they know everything about me. Does that a weird concern? That's probably a weird concern. So that's why I don't share my exact age online. I don't want anybody to be able to figure out what my birthday is, and then they also know how old I am, so then they can go look up at my birth chart and then pretend like they know me. Okay, you don't. I hate the stereotyping. I hate that. And it's probably because I have some signs in my chart that are some of the least likable signs. And so it's frustrating when I tell people, you know, some of my zodiac placements, because I'm like, please don't judge me. Please don't judge me. I'm not like the other ones. No, just kidding. But back to the original question, how old am I? Let's just say I am somewhere between my early and mid 30s. We'll just put that out there. Anyways, I know that's a weird concern, but I like to keep my birth chart private. There's just so much nuance to it that I think people enjoy stereotyping, and I don't want to be stereotyped. Guess what sign I am based on the fact that I don't want to be stereotyped. Next question, what happens when your practice fails you or lets you down? How do you carry on? This is such a struggle. I mean, this is something that we all go through, myself included. I've gotten to a point in my magical practice where I am very effective in the spell work that I do, and it's not very often that I have a magical working fail, but that's just part of life. It's just part of the practice. I would just take that as a learning opportunity. Just like anything else in life, if something kicks you down, take it as a learning opportunity and get back up and know that it is part of the process and that everybody struggles with this. You just have to find the right techniques that really work for you. And sometimes that can take a really long time to find the right techniques. It makes me so sad when people who are new to their practice end up giving up on something like witchcraft or working with spirits or whatever it is because they aren't having a lot of success. And I get it. It seems frustrating and silly when you're doing something continuously and you're not getting the results that you want. But it makes me so sad to see them give up on it, because I'm like, you're so close. You're so close. You're so close to actually getting the things that you desire, and you have the power to manipulate your reality. It's in you. You just got to figure out the right techniques. Switch it up at that point. Try something completely different. If you are working with candle magic, switch to poppets. Try poppets for a while and see if that works for you. Maybe try some lucid dreaming and some astral work, you know? Start working with your ancestors, start working with different kinds of spirits, or maybe just start working with the plants and trees around you and switch things up, try new stuff. This question was under my Occultist Guide to Brainwave States, where I talked about altered states of consciousness and different, you know, brainwave levels and such. Hi Ivy, any idea what type of state you'd be in during something like automatic writing? Yes, that would be an alpha brainwave state. The alpha brainwave state is so good. It's like a light trance, but while still allowing your body to move, because once you go deeper into the theta brainwave state, you're no longer really moving your body. You're kind of detached from your body and you're in a light sleep state, and you are going deep into that astral realm if you choose to. So the alpha brainwave state is really what you want to achieve for automatic writing. So you're in a light trance, a flow state, but you're still able to like channel and move your arm and write things and such. Hi, I'm from Athens, Greece. I have this question that nobody answers in books, sacred texts, mythologies, etc. Why work with spirits? Why not? Why not? They're so fun to work with. Why not? The only answer that comes from these two is because that one is an idiot and can't work with himself. Oh, wait, what are we talking about here? Spirits don't understand biology or money and can't interfere with the rules of luck, as luck is random. So why work with spirits, especially when they find us grotesque and disgusting? Also, when do you know is it your fantasy or a real spirit? Just by intuition. There's so many things for me to respond to in this question. So the sentence, so why work with spirits, especially when they find us grotesque and disgusting? I have never found that to be the case. In all my work with spirits, I have never once come across a spirit that found me grotesque and disgusting. So maybe that's just a personal experience that you're expressing or the people that you're talking to, but I personally have not experienced that, and I haven't really heard that perspective from anybody else that I talk to that works with spirits. Also, when do you know it's your fantasy of a real spirit? Just by intuition. So okay, so I think you're asking what is the difference, like how do you tell whether it's your like a real spirit or whether it's fantasy? One of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give, I've said this many times on my channel, is meditate, 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 meditate. Create a regular practice of meditation, because that is going to tell you, it's going to help you differentiate what is a spirit and what is not. Because when you're meditating, you really do get to know the inner workings of your mind, your inner mechanisms, and you become so familiar with your own thought processes, your own versions of fantasy, what is innately you. And so that way, when something foreign enters, when you smell a scent that is really odd and shouldn't be part of your external environment at all, when you see something, when you hear something, whatever it is, you're able to tell it's something foreign and separate from you because you have already done the introspection necessary to get to know your own mind and your own inner workings. So that is why a regular practice of meditation when you're working with spirits is so important. Well, among many other things, there's many other things that meditation is good for, of course. It helps you get into altered states of consciousness so you can really commune with these spirits a lot better. But it's so important to meditate so that way you can really get in touch with your own intuition and be able to better identify what is external, what is internal, you know, the difference between you and a foreign spirit. Have you personally ever cast a spell that has actually worked? And if not, what reasons do you think they have failed? I would not still be doing this after 2 decades if my magic didn't work. I would not. That is literally the definition of insanity. I would not be doing the same thing over and over if it did not work. So I would say that yes, my spell work and my rituals absolutely work. So the second part of this, and if not, what reasons do you think they have failed? I was thinking about, because this is so difficult for me to answer quickly, I was thinking about making a video about troubleshooting your magic, like troubleshooting your spell work, and really going over all the reasons why spell work can fail. Let me know in the comments, anybody that's watching this video, if that's something that interests you. I don't want to make it unless it's actually interesting to people, because a video like that, there's so many different reasons why a spell or a ritual can fail, and I don't want to go through the trouble of making a long ass video like that if it's not actually going to be interesting to people. So comment below if you would like that video. It would be like a troubleshooting guide, and it would really go over all these different reasons why your magic can fail to help you kind of pinpoint and become a little bit more efficient. So let me know. You are a chaos practitioner. Do you not know that order has to come from chaos? I don't really quite understand the question here. Are you asking me if I know what order is and if order comes from chaos? Is this more of a statement than, is this rhetorical? I'm not quite sure. There's a huge debate about order and chaos, and to claim that something is objectively true is not something that I prescribe to. So sure, we could argue that order comes from chaos, or that chaos comes from too much order or whatever, and they have a dance in the cosmos. At the end of the day, I don't believe in any sort of objective reality, because humans have pea-sized brains and we're not meant to know what this reality is actually about, at least at this point in our evolution. So I think this whole conversation is kind of irrelevant. I think this question was meant to be more accusatory and inflammatory than anything. So if that's something that you believe in, go off. Let's listen to another voice memo, shall we? Shall we? Let's go to the next one on the list.
Hey girl, this is your native friend from Southern California. This is a quick money spell real fast. I seen results in a week and a couple days. So I had a beeswax candle, the taper, some mint leaves, a quarter, a piece of paper, cinnamon, 4 crystals that were blue and green. I can't remember the names. I put on the paper what I needed. I folded 3 times towards me. I put the quarter inside with cinnamon and the mint leaves around the candle. And then I also chanted, money come to me, money sticks to me like honey. Everywhere I go, I get money. Bye.
I know you from the comments. So hello, it's so nice to actually like hear your voice, because I only know you by your username. You're girly. I just adore you so much. But I recognize your username from the comments, and we've like talked a little bit back and forth and stuff. It's so cool like talking to people in the comments. And then I've mentioned this before, when I'm filming a video, you know, I'm just sitting in my room alone talking to this little camera right here, and I don't know who's on the other end of it, and it's so wild to me actually getting to know people in the comments, and then not only that, but hearing your voice on a voice memo, and then you're a real person. And of course you're a real person. I know all the people in the comments are real people, but it's just wild to me as a YouTuber to be sitting here talking to who? Talking to this camera lens, talking to myself in my room, and it's wild that like you on the other end that is watching this video, you are a real person, and that's so crazy to me. So it's always cool like when I get to meet people, and my dream is to actually meet people in real life. It would be so hard to do that because like I don't want to post my location online to the general public. But for example, I'm going to be going to a conference soon, and I think some people are going to be there that are my channel members, and so I actually get to meet them in real life, and it's just I just love that. So thank you for submitting your voice memo. Let's listen to another one.
Hello Ivy, my name is Corinne. I am a cosmic bruja. that's been practicing witchcraft for over 6 years, but grew up with Mexican folklore practices and astrology. Astrology and planetary magic are my first loves and very present in my occult practice. I can talk about these topics all day, but due to time, I'll focus on my building blocks for my planetary magic. Regardless of what planet I'm working with, this is how I prepare for my spell work. Depending on my needs, I select a planet that best suits my intentions. From there, I select herbal allies that correspond best with my connection to that planet. Then I select crystal allies that best correspond with my connection to that planet. I strategically make connections with the planet's placements in my natal chart and choose the best crystal allies I have to connect my astrological signs to that planet. For example, for my Thursday Jupiter working, I use crystals that have connections to Jupiter and Virgo. Reason being, I have Jupiter in my first house along with my Virgo ascendant. I use moss agate tower, which is linked to Earth and Virgo. As I said, I am a Virgo ascendant with Jupiter in my first house. I will also use green aventurine tower, which is linked to Jupiter and Leo. I am a Leo sun and Leo stellium in my 12th house. Tying myself and my cosmic DNA, aka my natal chart, to the planet I'm working with has truly strengthened my spell work and overall connection to my planetary allies. I work with the planets as deities. After the planet, herbal allies, and crystal allies are selected, I then perform the spell using candle magic. I carve onto the candle, dress the candle in corresponding oils, herbal allies, and place my crystal allies around the candle. I speak clear intentions to each correspondent and connect with my planet. There's so much more detail that goes into this. I call it planetary logistics, but that's the gist of my foundational work. I just want to say thank you so much, Ivy, for creating this space and community, and many blessings to you. Much love. Corinne.
Thank you so much, Corinne. Yeah, our practices are similar, although I don't usually bring in natal astrology into my planetary magic practice, but I definitely resonated with what you said about correspondences and treating the planets almost like deities. I really, really love that. So thank you so much for sharing. Let's do maybe one more voicemail and then we'll go back to some YouTube questions.
Hey, Ivy. This is Deanne Comstock. I currently reside in Georgia, though right now with this heat, I wish I was anywhere else. And I just want to tell you thank you so much for the person you are and the things that you do for the community. And I just love you so much. I love watching your videos and soaking in all the knowledge you have to give. It's been a wonderful journey in your channel, and I just can't wait to continue learning and growing as you give us your knowledge. I'm so grateful. But I wanted to ask a question about, I've never done any kind of sex magic, and I was curious if you had any advice on a good place to start, any simple sex magic rituals. I realize this may not be something you can share on the channel, but for someone who is unversed and unexperienced in sex magic and who would like to, either dip my toe in or jump in full force, I'm spicy like that. I don't always necessarily do everything a little at a time. So I was just wondering if you had any good sex magic spells or rituals or ideas or anything that you could possibly offer off the channel, on the channel. It doesn't matter. I realize you have to be careful with stuff like that. You don't want to get demonetized or have people reporting your video, but I'm just curious because I've been thinking more and more about getting into that, and I really wanted to know the best way to start or some of the best spells to do for sex magic. Anyway, again, thank you so much for all you do. You are greatly appreciated and admired in my household, and I look forward to hearing your response.
Thank you so much, Deanne. That was so sweet. I'm sorry. I was having issues playing your voicemail for some reason. It was like a tech issue on my end. Anyways, Deanne, you're so sweet. Thank you. I would love to answer your question, and who cares about getting demonetized? No, just kidding. I probably should have put a disclaimer on this video that there will be talks about witchcraft, sex, and, you know, I might swear here and there. So I'm hoping that children are not listening to this video. Anybody who has little kids present, you know, maybe turn it off for this next little bit. But yeah, let's talk about sex magic. It's something so freeing and liberating, especially for women who are conditioned in our society to not talk about sex, to not partake in anything. I think it's so empowering to embrace that. So beginner sex magic. I'm not even going to get into the more intermediate complex stuff. Let's just talk about starting your sex magic practice. So I think the first thing to really assess is this going to be a practice with just yourself, or are you comfortable bringing in a partner? Because it's going to be different for everybody. Some people might find that sex magic is a lot easier just by themselves and reconnecting with their own bodies. Some people might actually find it easier with a partner to help facilitate. So you're going to have to kind of figure out which avenue is more enticing or more comfortable for you to explore. So I'll try to give a couple different techniques. Let's start with yourself first, like just yourself. You're not even working with another person. As I mentioned previously, sigils are the easiest things to do with sex magic. So you would basically just create a sigil that encompasses some sort of desire or some sort of intention that it is that you want to manifest. And then at the height of climax, at the height of the orgasm, you would simply stare at the image of the sigil and charge it up, and there you go. That's the most basic level sex magic that I could recommend, is working with sigils. But beyond that, magic, and I want to say this too, magic doesn't have to be just about manifesting your desires, like manifesting and getting stuff. Magic can also be about reconnecting with your own body and really healing yourself, any areas that may need to be healed. So if you're doing this just with yourself, what you could do is focus on certain energy centers in your body, certain points that correlate with certain things. So let's talk about the throat, you know, focusing on your throat region and healing that. Maybe you have a hard time speaking your truth or being really truthful and forward and confrontational with people. Or maybe if we're talking about the solar plexus, which is related to your personal power and your will, maybe focusing on that area during the height of climax to really empower yourself and boost your personal power. You know, there's colors associated with different energy centers in the body. So while you're performing sex magic, while you're getting yourself there to orgasm or climax, you would visualize the colors associated with each energy center and then focusing on whatever that intention is that you're working with. So that's just another really basic way of working sex magic. You're not necessarily getting stuff, you know, you're not trying to manifest your desires in that sense, but you're more so working with reconnecting yourself to, or even working with your sacral region. You're really just working with these different energy centers to either empower that area, to heal that area, to focus on whatever sort of energy correlates to that part of your body. So those are some simple practices just solo that I would recommend. With a partner, so if we're talking about basic sex magic, I would play around with the positions of giving and receiving. So this is kind of in the realm of manifesting stuff. Let's say you want to use sex magic to manifest things that you want. You would put your partner in a giving position and you would put yourself in a receiving position. And I mean, we're all adults here. I think we know what giving and receiving looks like, okay? For everyone else watching, I can't explain that because I will absolutely get demonetized, but the giver in that perspective would be giving their life force, their energy to the other partner, to the partner who is receiving. And then the partner, the one that's in the receiving position, that's the one that's going to be visualizing what it is that they want, what it is they're trying to manifest. And you would use your energy and your partner's energy to fuel it towards the ultimate goal. You can have both partners thinking about the same thing you know, while you're in the act of sex, or you can just have the person in the receiving position receive the energy from their partner and then channel both of your energies towards the goal. And think about also making your bedroom or wherever it is, if you have a BDSM room, okay, go off, but whatever situation you have, try to make it as sacred as possible. Bring in oils that correspond to your intention. Bring in scent that corresponds to your intention. You know, have some delicious perfume that corresponds to whatever it is you're trying to do, magically speaking, for the sex magic ritual, or burn a very specific type of incense. I have this on my desk. I have this Kama Sutra. It's like a little perfume. It comes in the beautiful bottle. Anyways, and you just like just dab it on your wrists beforehand. And now I've got my sex magic oil on my wrist as I'm filming this video. But scent is such a powerful way to invoke certain feelings, certain states of being. Consider creating an altar in your bedroom space. Set up an altar maybe on the top of your dresser that's dedicated to not just sex, but pleasure. Just pleasure, carnal desire, and your most primitive self. What is it that you're wanting to get out of your sex magic? Is it because you want to manifest stuff? Or is it because you want to tap into certain areas of your body and reconnect? Or do you want to tap into your most primal primitive self? Do you want to focus on just pleasure, period? Because we're in a culture that really kind of strips away our true pleasure. So yeah, I think just thinking about your goal first and defining what that looks like is going to be really helpful. And then setting up an altar in your space, bringing in scent, bringing in oils. You can even trace sigils on your partner's body. So I hope that gives you somewhere to start at least. Going back to some questions here, is it possible to unknowingly rid your home of all spirits, good or bad? I don't feel any sort of presence in my home and I would like to experience that. I do have wards and iron around the perimeters as well as some small layers of protection. Yes, it is absolutely possible to rid your home of all spirits, good or bad. There are definitely some purification rituals that just kind of get rid of everything. And I think some things that we do just do that anyways without like a formal purification ceremony. So if you have a lot of wards around your home, you have a lot of iron specifically, then yes, you might be warding off all of the good spirits as well. That's why I don't have, I used to do iron, and I had actually the exact same situation where I was living in a home that did not have a lot of spiritual activity at all. And it was actually kind of sad and lonely because I wanted some really good spirits in there. So instead of warding your home with iron or, you know, shielding or anything like that, what I have done instead is I have created sigils. So I've created a sigil that is based on the intention of adding a filter to the home. So it filters out all of the bad spirits and filters in all of the good ones. And when I say sigil, that's such a loose term. It's not really a sigil. It's not really a talisman either or an amulet. It's this image that has gained power and some sort of sentience over time. So you know what? Maybe I would put it in the servitor category. But anyways, regardless, I have created this symbol that I have charged in an altered state of consciousness with some sort of intention phrase in mind of filtering out malicious spirits, and only spirits that are in alignment with my highest good or my highest will are allowed to enter this space. And I have put it up above pretty much all of my all of my exiting doors, and then some of my, I'm looking at it right now, some of my interior doors as well. I just put it up above the door frame. And if you live in a space where you can't really do that, you can't have a sigil just hanging out at the top of your door frame because people will walk in and think, what is that? That's weird. You can always draw it with pencil and make it really light so nobody sees it but you. Or you can even draw it in on the wall and then just paint right over the top of it. So then it's truly covered and you don't even have pencil there or anything. So you can get really sneaky with things like that. But that's not the only filtration method whatsoever. But it sounds like that you have your defenses up pretty heavily on your house, which is not a bad thing by any means. But yeah, there is a possibility that you are filtering out all spirits and not even the good spirits can come in and pass by. So maybe lift some of those protections a little bit and try some different methods. This question is on my video that I made so long ago about how to work with a dark goddess and what to expect and my experiences working with Medusa and all that. And the comment is, who is the strongest? Next question. This question is under a video where I was documenting my journey with Thoth and everything that happened. Am I seeing something that's not there, or is that bowl meant to look like a turtle shell? Yes, that bowl I used in that video is meant to look like a turtle shell. It's a turtle shell bowl. I'll show you right now. So here's the inside of the bowl and then the outside of the bowl. It's a turtle shell. Isn't that so cute? I found it at the thrift store and I love it because it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So I put all my river rocks in there and other things that I collect. Sorry, that was loud. So yeah, I love this little bowl. This comment was under my Guardian Wards video where I talked about how every witch needs a guardian ward to ward your home. Not every witch needs this. I just said that because every witch should have a guardian ward because they're fun and they're cute. The question is, Ivy, would a gargoyle be a guardian ward? Sure. if you want it to be, if you make it to be. I know that some people have like the gargoyles out in front of their yard, you know, as like the entrance point. They're on either side of their driveway. I wouldn't say that every gargoyle statue is a guardian ward, but why not turn that into your guardian ward? Hell yeah, do it. That's so cool. So there's a lot of questions on here about where I get my necklaces and where I get my earrings and things like that. Thank you. I'm so glad y'all like my earrings and my necklaces. Most of them I have got at weird random boutiques. So I can't even tell you where I've gotten my jewelry for the most case. This one in particular, this one's from copperteast.woo. So you can definitely go check out their stuff. It's a little rattlesnake and it actually kind of rattles as it goes side by side. I did a sponsorship with them maybe like over a year ago now, something like that. Anyways, but most of the jewelry that I get, like these earrings and stuff, I find at just random little shops and boutiques, or like little, you know, where you go to those witch markets and they have all the little carts of vendors selling stuff. That's where I get a lot of my jewelry. So I can't even tell you where to buy them because it's usually just random little places. This comment was under my occult reading vlog. By the way, the reading vlogs have been so fun and I'm gonna bring those back. It's basically me taking you along as I'm reading books and telling you what I'm learning about and talking about the book in general, whether it's good or whether it's shit, either way. And I love watching other content creators do reading vlogs because I get to kind of read that book vicariously through them. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, so I can't read all the books that I ever want to read. So I love watching content creators read books and then they tell me little snippets from it so I can learn from the book, and then also they tell me whether it's a shit book or whether it's actually a good book. And it's just fun to, like, you know, bring people along, and it's like a vlog about their day. And anyway, so I'm definitely gonna do more of those, but this question is under that reading vlog I did for when I talked about the book Illusions, the Witch Compass, etc. The question is, girl, how do you read so fast? I can read at max maybe 20 pages in an hour, and after that I need a long break. It's so funny. I've gotten this question like so many different times. It depends on the day. Like sometimes I'm just a naturally incredibly fast reader, but it depends on the writing. There is writing in some books that just make it so difficult to read quickly. Like when I was trying to drudge my way through Braiding Sweetgrass, I could not read that book quickly. It was something I had to slow down, and I think that was the point. I think it was that there was a certain level of slowness in that book that I can appreciate, and I understand that it was slowing down and reconnecting back, but I am not a slow moving person, so it personally did not work for me. I like to move fast, I like to talk fast, which is something that people complain about all the time, but that's just the way I am. I'm a fast mover, I'm a fiery person, and just get on this train or get off this train. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, I guess it's just bred into me. Doing another voicemail, here we go.
Hey, my name is Anna, and I'm from Ukraine. And first of all, I want to congratulate you for 50K. I think it's very much deserved. And I want to share a bit of recipe for Mars incense. I made it myself, so there's no measurements. Just listen to your body. And there we go. You will need some black pepper, some pine resin, basil, dragon's blood, ginger, tobacco, juniper. I use juniper berries, and cinnamon. You can also add some drops of strong coffee, and if you add enough of a strong coffee, you can even mold it into cones if you want, if you would like. I didn't have to add any binding agent. Sadly, we don't have access to maca powder or something like that. So you can use this incense for all of your Mars purposes. Like, you can use it for motivation, you can use it for protection, for strength, for success, enthusiasm, and basically to to all of your muscular energy desires. So, and also it smells really good. It's surprisingly, it smells like Coca-Cola. Weirdly enough, it's no, it's nice. That's it. I think. So congrats once again.
Thank you, Anna, and you're not awkward at all. Anna had wrote in the little title, oh, it's so awkward, but it's okay. Anna, you're not awkward at all. That was a great voice memo. Thank you for sharing that incense. I'm definitely gonna try that out because I love working with Mars. Mars is one of my favorite planets to work with, so I'm definitely gonna be trying that out. Interesting that it smells like Coca-Cola. I could see that though, because Coca-Cola has that smell of like pepper mixed with this syrupy sweetness, so I could see how it smells like that a little bit, but thank you for sharing that recipe. All right, I have to go head to school. I have to go to class. I've been filming for about an hour now, I think, and I was hoping I would make it through a lot more than I did in an hour, but anyways, I'm gonna go to class. I don't know what this video is gonna look like. Am I going to return and do a part 2? We shall see, but wish me luck because I have kind of a combination between trigonometry and calculus this quarter, so I'm gonna head to class. Hey everyone, it's Editing Ivy here. I think I decided to post this in multiple parts, so I will be filming a part 2. I was thinking about rolling this all under just one giant 50K Q&A voice memo response, but that video would have been like 3 hours long, and honestly, the thought of filming that much all at once and then the thought of editing a 3-hour video sounds horrible, and my procrastination, I will not be able to get myself to do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna release this part 1 and just stop here, and then I will pick up where we left off in part 2, and we'll just have this video come out in multiple pieces. So I hope you enjoyed the Q&A. I will see you in part 2 very soon. Hopefully that'll be my very next video. Hope you all have the most beautiful day ever, and I'll see you soon. Bye.